Hello, welcome to the HR Happy Hour Work Break. You are here with Trish and Chris Havrilla. Hello, Chris.
Hey.
We're already laughing before we
We are.
even start. So that's got to be a good sign for a Monday, right?
Absolutely.
Steve Bose is on the road traveling. I'm going to be traveling here in another hour out to California. We have a big hire tool event.
That's right. That's this
Um,
week. That's right.
yeah. So
I'll
thank you
I'll be on virtually.
Oh, well,
I know. I
good.
really wanted to be there.
You know what? It is hard to travel nowadays just with all the restrictions and stuff. And
Yeah.
and it was funny last night. My dad was telling me, he's like, "Have you watched the weather?" And do you watch weather? I'm not a big weather watcher. Do you watch weather?
No.
I kind of
What
just
can I
like
do
wing it.
about it?
Like it's cold, it's winter. I should wear a coat. I'm that kind of a girl.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's like, there is a huge storm coming on Wednesday when I come home. So it's like, no lie. Like
Right.
I look up the weather last night and it's like Wednesday morning, we're predicted like 3 to 5 inches. Wednesday evening, it's like another 5 to 8. Thursday morning, like another 3 to 5. So St. Louis is going to get pounded and I'm going to be trying to fly home and all of that. So,
well, I don't have to watch weather here in Atlanta because if there is going to be any weather, then you know it. It's all over everything. You don't have to watch the weather. It's big news, right? So I don't have to worry about that. Flights will cancel. Buildings will shut down. Even if there's going to be a flurry. So I know. And then the rest of the time, it's just like, I'm going to get in my car.
nice.
It's in the garage. I'm going to walk right into some building. So I'm kind of, I'm not a weather watcher.
Yeah, I'm not either. Well, I'm already planning I have a layover in Dallas. So I'm already planning ahead that possibility of being held over in Dallas is going to be strong. But anyway, so how are you? How was your weekend?
It was great. I had foodie experience weekend. So I have not even gotten it all posted yet. I got one of them posted, but Friday I also got to see, I had a fabulous dinner, of course, because if I'm going to go out, there's kind of going to be a fabulous dinner involved, but I got to see the Obama presidential portrait exhibit here in Atlanta.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And which was interesting. I mean, because it's such a departure. It's like a modern art, version of the normal presidential and wife of the president pictures, right? The first lady, portraits that go in.
I haven't
this
seen
is
it.
more modern art. And the exhibit here in Atlanta was more about how it was. Obviously you got to see the portraits because not everybody can get to DC right now, right? So it's cool that they're taking it on tour.
I had no
But
idea.
it was as much about the artists themselves and the journey and how they do things and how they came about this portrait and what it all meant and all the symbolism. It was fascinating. It was wonderful.
Wow. So and then you followed it up with a good meal.
Exactly.
So, I mean, look, not everyone's a foodie. What does that mean to you? I know you, but like, what does being a foodie mean to you? Like,
I never really considered myself a creative person outside of solving problems very creatively, which I do, right? But the whole artistic gene just kind of, got lost on me. And I learned, I had kind of an epiphany that I credit a master perfumer that had given me this epiphany about the actual process of artistic thinking. And you start to see that once you really pay attention. So for me, going back to food, I'd say like food, wine, flavors are my medium, right? And so I really see like the whole foodie experience or a good craft cocktail or a pairing with a meal is about being really at the intersection of art and science, which is really what we do, right?
Right.
It's what's the data, what's logical, what are we learning, what are we consuming, what's the insight, right? It really is an art and science, and I see being a foodie kind of being at that intersection of art and science.
I've never thought of it that way. See, this is why I love talking with people about just different things they're passionate about, because you learn so many different approaches to why people love what they love, right? So does that carry over then into your own home cooking?
It does, because the more I learn about how flavors come together or herbs or this, and a lot of times because I, and you know this, but maybe a lot of other people don't, I'm a clean eater. I eat off of local farms and stuff like that when I'm here. So sometimes it's just what is available. So then what do you cook with it? you really have to understand how flavors come together or the right
Right.
ways to cook things. And so that's like the science, and then it becomes the art because you want it to taste amazing. I don't eat for sustenance, I eat for pleasure. Right.
I
So
love
now
that.
how do I make this pleasurable, like, and pleasing to the palate, the smell, the eye, everything else. So it definitely is bled in, because the more I learn about what other people do and how they do it, kind of helps, form to me, okay, what, all right. It's kind of like being on Chopped. All right, here's my basket.
Yeah, and what do you create with it, right? So question then kind of related to that, I guess, is like, what are you really into right now? I know, like, I don't know if you're like me, I kind of get into like, oh my gosh, I'm doing everything with eggs, or I'm doing everything with,
Yeah,
butternut squash or something. Like,
yeah,
do you cook like that? Is there something like right now that's kind of your go-to item or two, or spice, or
yeah.
what are you
It
into right
is.
now?
Especially in the fall. Like I started playing with cinnamons and cardamoms and some of
Mhm.
the winter stuff, because again,
Okay.
a lot of the stuff that's coming out right now, are all the squashes and the winter
Yeah,
vegetables and things like that. Eggs, I love. I always love to cook with
I
eggs,
know.
right? Um, but I mean, I've been playing with a lot of different stuff because I love different lifestyles and I love learning about them, but then I love the different cultures. So I'll start doing that just if I get on a kick that way.
Yeah.
And I'm super into, like, what can I do around Thai right now? Like that's kind of my
Oh,
been
okay.
playing with all these curries, and so that's kind of my thing right now, is
That is right
playing with
now.
curries and learning
So
about
now
it.
listen, we are just a couple weeks away from the Super Bowl. I don't know if you watched all of the championship games yesterday, but Super Bowl, are you a big Super Bowl person, Super Bowl food person? Because that's always a big, like,
Yeah.
big deal for people, is preparing what foods for Super Bowl. But I feel like this year, I don't know if you've seen the halftime lineup,
I was just about to say,
but
right
it's
now,
like,
all I can think about is that halftime show. Like that
right?
is gonna
I mean,
be amazing.
let me
And
tell
so
you
I'm
what.
planning my menu around that. Like what's it gonna be? Because I do, but I love
What are you
football.
gonna make?
That's my secret job. I wanna how you have a couple secret jobs, like
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a college football coach,
Oh,
but I
okay.
I don't love the NFL as much as I love college football, but I
Right.
love football, period.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to watch any of the games yesterday, and I was so sad. But I was with a friend, and we were doing our things, so I did not. It was all about her yesterday, and so I didn't get to watch it. But I was so sad about that part, because I was like, wow, last weekend's games were so incredible.
You're
Three
crazy.
walk-off field goals, and then
I know.
that crazy last game. I was like, what is happening? I mean, it was something.
Yeah,
It
and
was
my
something.
Chiefs
I
just
really
did
wanted to see
not
the follow-up
produce
games
yesterday.
yesterday, and I didn't get to actually watch them. So
Yeah, it was very sad. I had people over, I had my Chiefs garb on, and,
man, I bet
yeah,
that
we
was
were not able to pull it off, but
no. I
do
saw
you
the
know what I
score.
do like, though? Let me tell you this, I love the idea that you've got the Bengals,
Yeah,
who have not even been in for 31
exactly.
years and have never won it, so
Yeah.
there's some sort of, like, you can't, I don't know, I kinda root
Yep.
for the underdog in that case, so, yeah, that's probably
I'm
gonna
in
be
on
my
that for
thing.
sure.
But I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I'm gonna be dressed to the nines for that halftime show. I went on Rent the Runway and got a red fur coat
I love
because
it.
I'm going full Mary J. Blige, honor
You
of
are
her.
going all
Oh, I'm gonna wear the big, big hoops. I'm gonna have big hoops. I'm gonna have my fur coat on. Yeah, yeah.
I hadn't even thought about my outfit. That's
I mean, it's Eminem, it's Mary J.
it
Blige, it's
is.
Kendrick
It's
Lamar, it's
it's gonna be
Dr. Dre,
incredible.
and Snoop,
When I first saw that trailer, I was like,
right? I could cry. I could cry.
exactly. So with you on that. I love
Hey,
it.
listen, I also wanted to ask you about Wordle. I made a note here because Steve Bowes does not play Wordle, and I wanted to ask your opinion because I know you're on Wordle too.
Yes, I just got on. I fought it. I was with Steve. I
I
fought
know.
it, and then I
I
had
know.
to do it.
Oh, look, we're getting a cute hey, Josh Rock.
Josh Rock. I
How
love it.
nice is that? It's so nice to see you
I
pop up.
love that.
Um, no, so Wordle is turning into, like, I've played it for a couple weeks now, and I either feel really good,
Yeah.
like, and I love that everyone shares their stuff, but what I wanna know is this: are you secretly looking down on me when I do poorly at Wordle? Here's why. Because if I see that someone, it took them 4 tries and I did it in 2 or 3, I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm smarter than that one. I already knew that." And then but then when it takes me 4 or 5 or 6 tries to do it, I'm like, "Oh my god, everyone is, like, silently judging me." Do you
Right.
judge people when you look? Like, when it
I
gets
because I didn't understand it. I got
Yeah.
on and then I was like, "Oh, wow." This like it's some kind of cross between I never played the word for
Oh,
friends
yeah.
or I never played any of that. So
Yeah.
it was funny. Like to me, well, first of all, I didn't realize everybody was getting the same word. Like I just,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really know anything. I just kept
It
seeing
levels the
results.
playing field. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, and so I just realized that because somebody made some comment to me on Twitter, and I was like a friend of mine was like, "There's a bot that tells" I was like, "Well, what is that gonna do?" And I was like, "I didn't know there was just one answer."
just one
And
answer.
so no, I wasn't judging anybody because I was an idiot and didn't know what was happening, but you realize it's this combination of luck, right? When
It
you
is.
know, like
Yes.
whatever you put in, and then like today it took me 5 tries, and it was like, and I mean, I was keeping, when you're supposed to keep the letter in the same or a different place, and I
Yeah.
had it in the same place the second guess. I'm like,
You're like, "Oh my
you know
god."
what I mean? Like just sometimes I'm just not thinking. And then, the other day I didn't get anything right on the first one, and then I
Right.
got the word right on the second one.
And that's what I'm talking about. I
Like
saw
it's
you
just
got it right, and I'm
I
like,
can't
"Oh my."
judge on that like that. I wish I could say it was because I was smart. It was just luck, and then it's
Okay.
figuring it out. I don't know.
You're
I
making me
judge
feel better because I
nobody.
saw that and I was like, "Oh my god, it took me like 5 tries that day," and I thought, "Oh, yeah, she is smarter than me. There's the proof."
I love it.
I
I love
know. I
that.
I should try not to make it so competitive. Hey, last thing, I wanted to get your take on this because I saw
Yeah,
this over the weekend. If you watch the show at all, Steve is always updating us on, like, what there are shortages of,
yeah,
what's happening with pricing and
yeah.
supply chain issues. We talk about this all the time. So, well, 2 things. Number 1, like, late last week, I heard that laundry detergent, it's the 31st of the month, everyone. Laundry detergent is going up in price across the board. Tide, Gain, Cheer, all of them in February. So go stock up on your laundry
All right,
detergent.
I'm doing that.
Okay, so that's one I
Yeah,
heard.
'cause I can
Um,
generate some laundry.
which I did. I went and bought 2 big old things of Tide.
Yeah,
And again, it's because of they're running
yeah,
low on some of the supplies it takes to make laundry detergent.
right.
The latest one I saw this weekend, and I saw this on Weekend Express, Oreo and Chips Ahoy have announced that in February they are going to raise their prices by quite a bit because costs of making cookies has gone up.
Wow, wow.
So I don't know. Are you like an Oreo? Are you Oreo or Chips Ahoy? Because I feel like it's
If
kind of
I'm
one or
gonna
the other.
do one or the other, it's
Yeah.
Oreo, right? But
Okay, same.
when I started clean eating and I got rid of all the processed foods, I'm good. But I will tell you this about the Oreo thing. You can't get those in a lot of countries. So when we were traveling internationally all the time, and I would bring gifts, that's one of the gifts I would bring. And it is out of
Really?
all the things I bring, because I always like to try to bring something from my state or Josh Rock stockpile, mega stuff.
We're gonna get to that in a minute, Josh Rock.
I love it. Yeah, with
I didn't
Oreos,
realize that.
I always bring things from Georgia, things that might mean something to me, and
Okay.
and then I bring Oreos, and it's the hit. Every country that
I
they
had no
don't get
idea.
real Oreos.
Really?
I'm like, that was always my thing. I was like, really?
Okay, so here's the Oreo question. Like, I would be great if Oreos were just the chocolate parts with like the teeniest amount of cream
Yeah.
smeared on it,
I like the
little.
thin ones if you're gonna.
I know that's the closest thing to it, but I really want the wafer to be the right thickness.
It's got to
I
be the
just
right thickness, but
so
with
he's
like just a
so
little
Josh,
minute line, the thin line of the
yeah.
cream. Yeah.
So Josh, are you like a mega stuff guy? Like, what's going on? I don't even think I could eat that. I think I
I
would.
don't. I know I couldn't.
I'd
I
have to
know I
take a
couldn't.
knife and I'd have to open it and twist it and open it
Twist it
and
and just take what was
scrape it
left
off
on the
and put
wafer
it back.
sides, put it
Do
back.
you dip your Oreos or not?
Do I what?
Do you dip them in milk or
Oh,
something?
yeah. Yeah, no,
Me
I
too.
I don't even know why you would eat an Oreo without milk.
Thank you. See, I'll tell you what, I like having you on because you and I agree on everything.
I know, I love that.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna let you go. I know you've got work to get back to. I've got work to get back to.
Safe
Josh
travels.
Rock probably has work to get
He
back to.
probably has work to do. Hey, tell everybody hi at the event. I so jealous, but I'll be online, so we
Josh,
even bought the most stuffed Oreos. Go,
I
Josh.
need to have Josh, you need to come on the show. We got to talk Oreos sometime.
The
All
great
right.
debate.
Hey, listen, everyone. Thank you for joining in on a Monday. This has been fun. Chris, thank you for joining me on a Monday. For everyone else, I think it remains to be seen if we'll have a show on Wednesday. If not, Steve and I will do one Thursday because we've got travel coming back that day. So have a good day, and we will catch you back here later this week.